Hello everybody, been a while again. Witter Quilt 12, here we go, block 1 of. This has come about in a slightly different way to normal, all right? The other week I was doing a Sunday special and I just have to say, like, well, is there anything anybody really wants as a special? Give me a shout. If I can do it, I will. It's my usual ploy. And somebody replied, what about a set of fabric for the next Witter quilt? Well, in my mind, I hadn't even got to the next Witter quilt because I only really just managed to sort of finish the last one. In fact, there's lots of you out there that have finished it where I haven't. Mine still needs the border putting on and quilting, but hopefully that will happen shortly. So Witter quilt 12. So those of you that are new to this, during lockdown, I did a video every single day. And we covered different blocks and we just had a bit of fun and kept each other going, you know, through all that horrible time. So we called them the Witter quilts, or at least I called them the Witter quilts. That was another person's idea. And so we have a group on Facebook called Patchwork Witterings of Abian, and in that are links to all the different videos. There are patterns and how to and all the rest of it for the previous 11 quilts that we have done. All right, so now we're on to quilt 12. It's all free, okay? So the only thing I ask, please, is give credit where it's due. If you're using it and doing stuff, tell them it came through from us or from me or whatever you want to do. And also, can you please subscribe on YouTube, because then that will keep everything in your feed and keep everything coming for everybody. If you don't look at it periodically or don't subscribe and like things, then it falls to the bottom of the queue and gradually you sort of get pushed off of YouTube. So it would be good if you could all like or follow on Facebook is the other one. Follow and like everything that's going on. That would be good as well, please. So the group Patchwork Witterings of Abian, you'll find on my main page in Facebook. So go to Abian Patchwork, and within there you'll find there's this group. It's free to everybody. Just join it. Feel free. Enjoy the conversations. Put up photos of what you're making, what you've done. It might be a Witter quilt going on that we're doing now. It could be anything. It's just a nice, friendly, safe space. Okay. Anyone gets anything a bit twitchy on there, I delete them because we're not having it. It's a lovely space. Okay. Right, so yes, so please follow on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. That's the main one to keep us going and that everybody can see. Right, there we go. So what was asked the other week was, could we have some fabric for the next Witter quilt? Right, so what I did, I put together a couple of packs, ranges of fabric, all right? So within these, there's a couple of dark, a couple of light, a couple of medium. They're all ½ metre, so you've got 6 ½ metres of fabric and then a metre of a mixer of some description, all right? Obviously, you can do all of this with your scrap and stash, that's fine. But if you want to purchase as well, that's even better. And there's another lovely set there, which a Macauer laundry basket designed from Edita Sitter, and that's got a nice linen texture cream there to go with it. So they're the fabrics that I'm using, all right? So we've got 6 ½ metres and 1 whole metre. How it's going to pan out, I have absolutely no idea, because those that have done this before know I never know what the hell I'm doing until I have to come and do something. Each time I do a video, I suddenly think, oh my god, what am I going to do? So actually it might be nice if different people give suggestions of what you want to do, or techniques or designs or whatever, and we'll do them if I can. All right, so this time I thought, do you know what, we're going to do reverse applique. Not in the way that I'm known for it, because I'm known for raw edge, layer it up, machine it, chop it all up, have a bit of fun. We're going to do this in a more traditional manner, like molar work, okay, which is where we layer them and we might cut into something to show what's underneath, and then we turn it all round underneath very nicely and machine it. Well, not machine it, they would have hand stitched it originally, but I machine. Okay, so let me show you what I'm trying to say. That's a very, very old sample of mine. Spot the paint. I have absolutely no idea how that got there. I think it's acrylic, so I don't suppose I'm going to get that out, but there we are. So actually, this lovely gecko, given to me by somebody who knows who's given it to me, thank you very much. I had 2 or 3 of them at the time, a few years ago now. I thought that's a lovely centre, and this could actually work really well with photos. Make a photo frame from it and put your photo in underneath. You could put photos and things onto fabric and show it. You could just put the most lovely fabric that you have and put it in and make a feature of it. It's whatever you want to do. So this has actually got 4 layers. So you've got your gecko, a black, this ready in the middle there, and then this fabulous going on the outside. I think that's so lush. One of my favourite fabrics, that was. So you get 4 layers, and then you tack it all. You cut into it, so you would cut 1, 2, 3 layers to expose that. Okay, and turn it in, and then stitch all around, and then you get a bigger size, cut out, and then turn in the next one, and then turn in the next one. We're just going to do simple, all right, which makes change for me. So what I've done, here's one we prepared earlier. There we go. So I've taken that lovely bold flower print from Adita Sitter and a fussy cut. For those of you that don't know what fussy cutting is, it's when we stick a hole anywhere in the middle of our fabric because that's the bit of the pattern we want. Which is really alien, because actually we're all, or at least me, really frugal with my fabric. You know, I always advocate use it sparingly, cut this, cut that, be careful, be careful, be careful. But actually I want that bit in the middle, so I'll just cut a hole in it. We're weird, aren't we? And that's the other thing is, you could have your absolute most fabulous fabric that you love and love and love and love. And it's, oh, I'm coveting this and I might not use it. Somebody's doing something on the table and it's like, oh God, that's lovely. And they're looking for something. I've got just the thing that will go with that, and you will give them that. Us quilters are lovely, but we won't use it ourselves. We're a bit weird. So if you want a quick challenge, actually, whatever you're doing, use your most favourite fabric for it next. There you go. Right, okay, so how do we get to this? I'm going to drop the camera down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing, all right? And hopefully I'm going to show you exactly what I've done in order to get that nice block. All right, so I'm just going to drop you down a little bit like that so you can see where I am. There we are. That's lovely. There will be instructions. I've only just quickly done them by hand, but there'll be enough, and there'll be a photo of that over on Facebook in that group Patchwork Witterings for you. All right. So I've got lots of samples and things happening here. How did I get to these different stages? Right, okay, so imagine that's your lovely fabric that you want to show through the centre. All right, so what I would do, and I'm just going to just gently find the centre of that, crease it. All right, okay, so I'm going to put that with its nice little crease underneath what is going to be my main background fabric. All right, so I've cut, this is going to be, you're cutting 10.5 inches by 10.5 inches, all right, and that will include your seam allowance. And I am just quickly creasing that centre. All right, now how to get them where we want them. Pin, so through the centre at the front and then through the centre of the back fabric. Now hopefully you've lined up any lovely design in that centre at the back. All right, so that there is going to give us where we need to be. All right, so we just turn that round, get that like that. How lovely is that? Okay, so now, as I say, I'm quite mean, so I tend to actually cut a smaller piece underneath, and only what I need. And well, it's like I was saying, look, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Look, whopping great hole out of that piece, because that's where the pattern was that I wanted, but we'll worry about that later. Okay, so we've got it layered. Tack around, all right, underneath. Go from the underneath and keep it to the edge. All right, what you could do was actually have cut it as a circle on the back, if that's what you want, and then tack round. So what we are going to do is then put that like that. Okay, so now I particularly like these circles. You could do ovals, anything curves is good because it turns under really easy because of your bias cut. So I tend to start this one with anybody with curves. All right, so you could do an oval or circle or whatever you want. These circles are nesting circles. They come in a big set. Go right the way down. They're 1/2 inch wide. So I know I've got 1 inch here and that actually each ring, so the outside to the inside, is going to be an inch in diameter, sort of thing, different. Now I get these are from Crafty UK. Unashamed plug here for my mate Andy and his partner Joe. They make templates. Now they're reasonably priced, which is the main thing. They're very easy to use, they're nicely marked, they're clear. I use them all the time for all sorts of things. And actually, if you need a particular template and you've not got it, he'll quite often make it for you. All of my templates that I sell, my own design, he makes for me. So Crafty UK, you can find him on Facebook, all right, or on TV quite often, or us pair having a giggle in a video or something. Right, so I want to show the bit in the middle. I need an edge that I'm going to turn under, all right. So what I might do actually is draw the circle in the middle. Oh, a bit wobbly, because that's where I'm going to cut it, all right. So that circle is where I'm going to cut it. Now, if you're worried about your tacking, you could put that on the back and draw around the outside edge of it and tack around the outside edge, all right, because you need to make sure that your tacking isn't close to this. It needs to be, your tacking needs to be about an inch away. So now this is a water erasable pen that I use. I've been using this particular type for as many years as I've been quilting, and I'm not going to tell you that because we're well into double figures along the way. So we can tack on that outside line, all right, because I'm not going to do that, it will take us forever. I'm just going to pin a few there, all right, and then we cut away the center circle. So just get those pins in there. So you're going to get yourself a nice pair of scissors, nice little sharp pair of scissors, and you're going to cut that circle out. Now you've got it tacked, don't forget, all the way around. You can do it by machine. You can tack on a large stitch just so as it comes out easily, because we don't want it there permanently. Be careful that you only get one layer. And then I snip it at one side there, get my scissors in, and I start cutting on that inner circle line, okay? Hopefully you can see this. Alright, get him round here. And you can see, look, that's starting to expose what's going to be your lovely bit of fabric under there for your centre point. You imagine if that was a photo. I think that would be lovely. Or as I say, a statement fabric like we've done in this one. Well, in both, because the other sample has got hummingbirds sat in the middle. Look, that one's part way done. So as I can show you what to do next. Best I shut up really and do a bit, isn't it? Here we go. Right, there we are. So we've got a nice circle of fabric. Keep that, because at some point we will probably use that within the quilt as we go along. Look, so I've got my circle out of this one, and I've got the other one in the stack there. Right, so look, we're like that, and that's got a raw edge. What we're now going to do is turn that raw edge under. And what you're going to find, you don't have to snip it. You know, when we do a curve in dressmaking, we quite often snip things. Don't bother snipping it. Just gently let that find its own sort of depth. It's usually about 1/4 inch, all right? I'll do a few more and then I will show you up close, so hopefully you can see what's going on. It's quite amazing how the bias cut allows it to turn just that little bit. It's lovely, and it's sort of automatic. Once you get started, it just goes so quickly, and you just literally turn that very gently under. Let me show you up close now. Look, so that's all just turned under nicely. You get just about 1/4 inch. Do pin it in that direction, okay, because you need lots. What you don't want is it all shifting when you're trying to either hand stitch it or machine stitch it in a minute, all right? Bearing in mind that tacking's there to keep it, it should be pretty flat. What you don't want is a whopping great pucker or pimple in the middle. All right, although I suppose you could stuff it, I don't know. There we are. So we've got all of that turned all the way around, and then you can either blind hem as if you were doing some actual normal applique, all right, all the way around, and that will turn it in nicely and you won't see, which is like that one. All right, so that's all turned under. You can't see any stitching on any of them, because that's quilting actually, by the way, around that one. So you'll see quilting, but they're all turned under. Okay, there we are. I'll show you the back, which is absolutely filthy, but I don't know if you can see where I've quilted that afterwards, all the different rounds. Okay, but that's another project altogether, so let's just put that there. But that's a reason for why you might want to learn this. All right, now, so that's all turned, but we need to anchor it. So it's either hand stitch it, slip stitch, applique stitch, whatever you want to call it, that you can't see it. You could embroider it around. You could do a lovely blanket stitch or something. I machined mine. Now, can you see that anywhere? That's the question. Let me find you a bit that's going to show you. I've blanket stitched it. Okay, all the way around. So that's got loads of pins in like that, and I just take them out as I go. What you might want to do before you stitch it is actually get hold of your circle again, so the little one, and see, is it circular or has it gone ski with wonky like this one? Because I do ski with wonky really well. I don't know about other people, but I do it really well. But you can put a circle in there, and then you can adjust your pins before you stitch. All right, so that's it really. That's a reverse applique. So you've applied it to the back. If you think applique means to attach fabric on top of fabric, you're reversing the process and you're taking it away to show what's underneath. Yeah. Having said that, if you don't want to do this, just cut yourself a circle and applique it on a nice background. All right, just for the sake of the quilt. But I always think it's nice to find something new or try something different. Okay, so that's your reverse. Now, the other thing I will then do is turn it over and remove any excess fabric. Once you've stitched it and you've removed your tacking, take away the excess. Now I can show you that quite easily on here. Look, I've taken away all the excess. Actually, I only did it just now. There we go. And that's actually a piece that's made it to the bin, which is unlike me really. There we go. All right, now specifically important, that bit, when you've got a dark fabric under a light fabric. Otherwise you would have seen an inch of shadow under that white linen texture there. All right, so I've removed it from the back. Okay, so it all looks lovely. Now once you've done that, you've succeeded in doing whatever you want, and it's looking lovely and it's flat. If it looks a little bit puckery, go give it a good iron with a bit of starch and you will flatten that, I'm sure. Bit of what I call fabric manipulation or creative ironing, whatever you want to call it. It works quite well. So to finish our block for this quilt, okay, so this has been 10.5 by 10.5. You're going to then, says she, get the right ones, you're going to then cut yourself strips. They're 1.5 inches wide by 10.5 and 10.5, and these are 1.5 inch strips by 12.5 and 12.5. All right, so you're going to land up with a nicely bordered block. All right, and the reason I've sort of done that is because on one of my fabric choices, I'm going to go crazy come the end. This lovely loud one is going to be actually my sashing, just because I can. All right, so what I don't really want is that up next to that. So I've surrounded it with something that I know is going to really work. Okay, so that's my only concession of thought towards any other blocks and what's going on in the quilt. Okay, what you can do, which is what I normally do, is I wait till I've got all my blocks and decide what's going to hold this all together and how's it going to look lovely. But because I was cutting packs, I thought, oh, do you know what, that'll work really well. Let's have a little look at you again. Hello everybody, there we go. Oh, there we are. That's a bit better, isn't it? So there we are. So that's Witter Quilt 12, block 1, reverse applique in a more traditional manner, more like molar. Okay, the general how-to, along with some photos of it in stages, I will put over on Patchwork Wittering's group in Facebook. If you just look for my main page, which is Appliqué Patchwork, it's all free. So please just do me the one favour, as I've said, well, it's two really, previously. Give credit where it's always due when you're showing things to people or telling people or using. And subscribe on YouTube for me, please. It doesn't cost you anything. And on Facebook, keep following and liking, because if we don't keep things active amongst us all, it all starts getting downgraded within their systems. All right, so to make sure that we all keep things going, we need to keep liking, or even if you don't look at the whole video, look at a couple of seconds of it, hit a like and then come out again. That's fine if it's not for you, but the support is appreciated, because obviously it's a little business, and I don't actually get an awful lot for doing this for you. I do it for the fun of it, because I love it, and we're all going to have such different quilts. Do you know what, as a teacher, or whatever you want to call me in that manner, one of the best things is taking a design, teaching a group of people and seeing all the differences that come back from the same lesson. I just love it. Everybody puts their own twist on it, or their own designs, or their own fabrics, or actually, what if I did this? Do it, see what it looks like. I get such a kick out of that. It's worth it for that alone. So please enjoy this, and I will try and do one block a month, but I'm going to try for more than one a month. All right, but don't hold me to it, because life gets in the way, as we know. And all my other previous videos, as I say, you'll find elsewhere on in the group. It's all available, or here on YouTube. I finished them all off with "Be lovely," and do you know that still stands? Get out there and be lovely, and what's more, have a fabulous Christmas.